Hello everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back to do a little review of Guitar Pro 7. The reason I say a review of Guitar Pro 7 is because people may have seen my old video talking about should you buy Guitar Pro 7. That wasn't really a review, that was more just me ranting about the issues with Guitar Pro 7. But to be fair, I don't really talk about the positives of Guitar Pro 7. You might watch that and think that Guitar Pro 7 is awful and you shouldn't buy it. Well, it's not awful, and you should buy it if you use software like this often. The improvements in Guitar Pro 7 more than justify the upgrade cost. Having said that, I use Guitar Pro and music notation software professionally, so it's a very small cost for a great return for me. But I appreciate that if you just use Guitar Pro to notate bass parts or whatever for your band, maybe you don't need to upgrade. Let's take a look at them and I'll talk about them briefly. So the main improvement in Guitar Pro 7 is just the overall look of things. When I look at this transcription of Out of Love Again, everything looks better. The bends look better in the actual notation. I just kind of like the font better as well. The fonts of the note heads, they're just a little bit smaller. Everything can kind of look a bit dense on the page in Guitar Pro 6, but Guitar Pro 7, things kind of just look that little bit better on the page, and that's cool. So for that reason alone, printing PDFs for students and things like that, Guitar Pro 7 has a more professional look and it's more customizable, which is what you really want. The sounds are improved. I'm not going to lie, I'm not too crazy with the way that you adjust the sounds and effects of things. In Guitar Pro 6, everything was a lot more visual, and I preferred that, being able to put amps in and deal with the knobs. There's more menus in Guitar Pro 7, but, that can be addressed. Same with the tunings and things in Guitar Pro 6. I've just found them a little bit better to work with. In Guitar Pro 7, we're having to come down in here to adjust our sounds and tunings. You're doing things manually and creating custom tuning, so it's not as visual or intuitive a system, but once you kind of get used to it, as with any inconsistencies in software, you kind of get used to it and you don't worry about it so much anymore. There are a few massive gripes that I have with the software. This button here, the dead slapped, what is that? It's a stupid thing and it shouldn't be there. I like that they've indicated that you can right click on tuplets, which is great. The one thing that is bugging me still is if I go to a note that I'd need to change an accidental on. So this button here, change accidental, it says Control-Alt-8. When I hit Control-Alt-8, that doesn't actually do anything, which is bad. It means that they're telling you about hotkeys that don't actually have a function. And the way around that is very simple. Just create customizable hotkeys and a list of hotkeys. I should be able to go up here, click help, and then click hotkeys. And now I'm going to bump into something that says hotkeys, aren't I? But, it should be very easy to jump in and check what all of your hotkeys are and then adjust them as needed. I'm jumping down here because I'm just... I know now I said that I'm guaranteed to just spot it, having not been able to see it before, but I can't see a way to spot those hotkeys, which is problematic for someone that has to use the software as much as I have to use the software. So, as I said, being completely honest, it's definitely an improvement. There's no denying that it is an improvement. There's a lot more functionality from it. You can now plug your guitar in. I don't know why you would ever want to do that, but that's functionality that wasn't there before. And the overall look of things, of scores, and that's a big deal for me, is improved. So I can't really take issue with that. My only issues with the software are there are plenty of things that could have been fixed, should have been fixed. They had beta testers. I was one of them, and I told them a bunch of things that they needed to fix, and they haven't. And it's not like, oh, it would be nice if you included this. I would really like this. No, it's I use notation software professionally. These are the things that you need to do to bring your software up to par with your competition. Companies like Sibelius, they're not even competition at this stage because what Sibelius is doing is so professional. But Sibelius is also the best part of £500, and Guitar Pro is literally 1/10 that cost. So I can honestly say that I do recommend Guitar Pro 7. It's a cool piece of software. It's not perfect. If I was going to give it a out of 10 score, I'd probably give it, it's pushing an 8. It's not flawless, but it's by no means useless. Good piece of software, and it does definitely come recommended. The thing that I would point out is I would like to be using it more, but at this stage, for my clients, my transcription clients, they will be, a lot of them will still be using Guitar Pro 6, so I'll be need to submit files in Guitar Pro 6 format. You can export in Guitar Pro. If I go File, Export, I can export a GPX, which is a Guitar Pro 6 file, if needs be. But there's always that cross-format issue whereby I might export this Guitar Pro 7 to a 6, and it might not look quite like this when the client opens it in Guitar Pro 6. So for that reason, I kind of do my best to just work in the software they're going to be using. So, that's a shame. Oh, and under the import feature, we've got a power tab, etc., but no import Guitar Pro 6 or 5. Now, obviously, you could do that anyway if you right-click and open in, but if you're in the software, just silly little things like that, including everything that a user might want, everything that they're likely to look for. That's what you should be looking for when you're designing software for good user function. When I'm looking at the software like I am now, every single thing that I could ever want to do should be very intuitive. I should be able to work out very quickly how I do things. And Guitar Pro 7 is not as intuitive as I'd like it to be. But for that reason, I've done a bunch of tutorial videos which you can also check out on my channel. So, one last thing, massive thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. These guys all support me at a $10 tier. If you want to join that list, you just check me out on Patreon and join up for $10. You don't need to spend as much as that though. Support this channel for as little as $1, and it gets you access to my private Patreon-only Facebook group where we have lots of cool discussions going on. You can check me out on Patreon by clicking that button up there. You can subscribe by clicking that button down there, and you can check out 2 videos there and there, which will be my original Guitar Pro 7 video and my Guitar Pro 7 tutorials. Peace out, guys. Pleasure to serve, and I'll chat with you in the comments. Bye.